Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. Over the weekend, Israel and Hezbollah exchanged fire. The reason behind the attack coming up. And another meeting is set first this week about the incorporation plans for Bloomington and the details and how residents are reacting coming up. Plus, the housing market has remained frozen. We have what Americans could soon see in the market.
And we hope you love that rain, because look at this. We've got chances for rain just about every day this week, going even into next week. And not only that, we've already got rain out there. We'll take a look at how much I'm expecting coming up and the weather.
The Goliad volleyball team secures a tournament victory. Coming up on 25 News Now Sports, we talk about that and more.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning. I am Amaya Norman.
And I'm Parker Cox. Today is Monday, August 26th, and the time now on your magnificent Monday is 6:31. And Amaya, do you know why it's a magnificent Monday?
Rain.
Rain. We've got lots of rain coming away. Actually got a little bit out there right now, because looking at your radar, you could see just a couple showers out there, and actually got a couple thunderstorms as well, because turning on that thunder and actually the lightning, you could see we don't have any thunderstorms yet in our counties, but they're still sitting over the Gulf of Mexico waters right now. But kind of zooming out to see where all this is coming from. If you're tuning in with us last week, I was talking about this big old upper level, actually not a big one, it's a really weak one, upper level low that rode all the way around that high pressure ridge that gave us the heat last week, and it sat in the Gulf for a couple days, and it got a little bit of moisture with it, and now we got some rain out there. But the rain right now in the crossroads, it's kind of sitting over Pulaski right now. It's starting to die off as we speak, but we've got another one that just started developing about 5 minutes ago, just west of Seadrift. But coming away for the rest of the day, I think we got lots more to come. So get those umbrellas out and keep them there, because lots more to come for the rest of this week, but as well. But most of us, we're not really seeing the rain. It's still another warm and humid one out there, sitting at 77 here in Victoria. But if you're sending your kiddos out the door, like I said, packing that umbrella, because it's going to be just like it is right about now as they're heading out the door to get on the school bus. But as they're heading back home, about 89 for your high temperature today, with some scattered thunderstorms in the area. But like I said, coming away for the rest of this week, high pressure is moving out of the way. That's allowing us for seeing some showers and thunderstorms. We're going to take a look at how much coming up in the full forecast next. Back to you, Maya.
Israel and Hezbollah exchanged heavy fire Sunday, but have backed away from an all-out war. The cross-border attack started with Israel launching what is called a preemptive strike against Hezbollah for planning to launch a heavy barrage of rockets towards Israel. Hezbollah says it did fire more than 300 rockets at Israel in retaliation of Israel's assassination of senior Hezbollah leader last month. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel preemptive strikes destroyed thousands of Hezbollah rockets. Later we'll go to Washington for more. And now to the presidential race. Both campaigns are planning swinging state tours this week. Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz hoping to capitalize on the monument from their convention, as former President Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance hope to capitalize on an endorsement.
This morning, the Harris campaign touting a surge in fundraising. $82 million donated last week during the Democratic National Convention, and more than $500 million donated since President Biden stepped aside last month. Both campaigns are hitting the trail this week. Harris and running mate Tim Walz will take a bus tour across Georgia, while former President Trump heads to Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Harris leads in each of those key states, with the exception of Georgia, according to 538 polling averages. As for Trump running mate J.D. Vance, he heads to Michigan as he explains his support for Trump's proposed tariffs on some imported goods, denying the tariffs would be a tax on Americans.
If you're not willing to impose tariffs on companies that are manufacturing in China, using slave labor in China, you're not standing up to the Chinese.
Vance, in the same interview, was pressed on the subject of abortion and the potential for a national abortion ban.
If such a piece of legislation landed on Donald Trump's desk, would he veto it?
I think it'd be very clear he would not support it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren set to campaign for Harris this week, pushing back on those claims.
American women are not stupid, and we are not going to trust the futures of our daughters and granddaughters to two men who have openly bragged about blocking access to abortion for women all across this country.
It comes on the heels of Trump picking up the endorsement of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Kennedy yesterday said there was no specific commitment from Trump about a position for him in a Trump administration.
We just made a general commitment that we were going to work together.
Now that Kennedy has suspended his campaign, sources say he's no longer receiving Secret Service protection, which was added last month after the Trump assassination attempt. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
It was a close call for Hawaii on Sunday after dodging a Hurricane Hone. The Category 1 storm came close to the Big Island, dropping heavy rain and knocking out power to thousands of people. The storm brought up to 15 inches of rain in some parts of the states. Hone is forecast to weaken to a tropical storm this morning and gradually weaken after that. The National Hurricane Center says the storm is gradually moving away. People could still see more rain and the life-threatening surface could be expected. The U.S. housing market has been relatively frozen over the past year or so, but there appears to be a light at the end of the driveway. It could mean an eventual rebound for the market following expected drops in entry rates next month. Mortgages financing giant Freddie Mac recently reported the regular 30-year fixed rate mortgage has dropped to a low not seen in over a year. New home sales rose more than 10% in July from June. Even with the loosening of the market, it could still take a while before some are able to afford their own home. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, have you or someone you know recently bought a house? 18% of you say yes, 82% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in our viewer poll. Bloomington is preparing for another town hall meeting after hosting a capacity crowd on Thursday. Last Thursday, a packed house listened to plans by a nonprofit to incorporate parts of Bloomington as the Village of Bloomington. They will meet again in St. Patrick Catholic Church this Tuesday, August 27th, for round 2. Many residents were concerned that the proposed plan did not include the entire community. The plans did not discuss how city service like water, fire protection, and police will be provided by the newly incorporated areas.
They already don't pay their taxes. How can we expect them to take care of our school, our streets, our community, our citizens? I need all of Bloomington to come together, our members in the cabins and out of the cabins. We don't segregate our town. We want a united town that works together to make Bloomington great again.
The meeting is from 6:30 to 8. It will focus on building committees to create petitions that incorporate the entire community. They'll be making an aggressive push to get it on the ballot in May after missing the deadline for November. Residents are hoping more questions are answered this Tuesday. Now to the astonished who just learned they won't be returning to Earth for several more months. A far longer trip than expected because they're hitching a different ride home.
Starliner and Atlas V.
It was a mission that was supposed to last 8 days, but now 2 astronauts at the space station have been told their trip will last 8 months.
The decision to keep Butch and Sonny aboard the International Space Station and bring the Boeing Starliner home uncrewed is a result of a commitment to safety.
Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams launched to the space station in June on a Boeing Starliner test flight, but the Starliner has been plagued by problems. So instead of using the troubled Boeing capsule, NASA is turning to Elon Musk's SpaceX to send the astronauts home in February. While Boeing believed its spacecraft would get the job done, the uncertainty was too much for NASA.
This depends on how you evaluate the risk. We did it a little differently with our crew than Boeing did.
Boeing employees tell the New York Post the situation is humiliating, with one saying, "It's shameful, I'm embarrassed, I'm horrified." Boeing saying in a statement, the company continues to focus first and foremost on the safety of the crew and spacecraft. The astronauts' families now reacting to the news that their loved ones won't be returning home for another 6 months. Suni Williams' husband, referring to space, said it's her happy place. While Butch Wilmore's family tells Good Morning America they're praying for a safe return on whatever spacecraft that may be. Meanwhile, this is a big week for SpaceX. Tomorrow, the company will launch Polaris Dawn, a 6-day mission that will attempt the first ever spacewalk conducted by a private company. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The Sierra Nevada mountains in California saw a rare August dusting snow this weekend. This video was taken at Palisades Tahoe Ski Resort. Other high elevation areas in this area also saw some flurries. The spokesperson with Palisades Tahoe says this is the first time since 2004 that they've seen a snow in August. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is 6:40. Here's a look at what's coming up on the 25 News Now Sunrise. The Commissioner Court meets today at 10 a.m. We'll provide you with a preview of a few items on the agenda for the meeting.
I'm ABC's Perry Russom in Washington. Israel and Hezbollah attacking each other over the weekend. We have the latest from the Middle East.
And it's going to be a rainy day today. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at your full forecast, taking a look at the timing of the rain for today. We'll also look at your weather and health forecast. But coming up later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at your marine forecast and everything else that's going on out there in the tropics. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live in Cuero. Another warm and humid one out there right now, sitting at 74 degrees, but your dew point about 1 degree off, bringing humidity to 96%. So definitely plenty humid out there. You're definitely going to notice it. I don't think you're going to see any fog out there. You might maybe see a little bit of dew in your windshield, although not really too much of that expected for today. But looking at your radar, with it being so humid out there, and actually that little low center kind of starting to slowly approach us, we do have a couple showers out there. We're talking up right around Matagorda Bay. That's the only area that sinks a little bit of rain. Maybe a couple sprinkles right here in Victoria City. I'm going to go step outside to double check for y'all here in just a second. But as we go into the afternoon today, I think I've got today's chances at 60%, actually bumping up to 70% for overnight tonight. Sometime after midnight tonight, we're going to have more. But I think our best shot for rain today is going to be in the afternoon time, sometime afternoon, maybe after 1 p.m., sometime around there. We're going to have a couple more scattered showers and thunderstorms developing out there. Good news is no severe weather is expected for today. But some more good news for y'all on your magnificent Monday with the clouds and the rain today. Our highs this afternoon, we're talking upper 80s and low 90s. A big old change from the hundreds that we had last week. And hey, I'll take it. I love the rain. I don't know about y'all, but another good news, pollen's going to be nice and low with that rain today. Air quality, that's going to be good as well with the rain. And your UV index, that's going to be only high. Big change from the extreme that we usually get here in the summertime. But for the rest of this week, we've got lots more rain chances to come, so keep those umbrellas out. But coming up next, we're going to take a look at the tropics of what's going on out there. But for now, here's sports.
The volleyball tournament in Schulenburg concluded. We talked about it previously with our two Crossroad teams taking part in Goliad and Yoakum. The heavily favored Goliad Tigers walked away with the gold. After beating the home team in Schulenburg early on in the day, the Tigerettes found themselves taking on Victorious St. Joseph in the championship game. Maven Wunsch led the way with 12 kills. Addison Yearney was right behind her with 11. Goliad won the two series with the final scores being 25-18 and 25-22. Big congrats to Goliad. But let's take things over to the MLB. The Cleveland Guardians hosting the Texans Rangers. Final game of the series, the Rangers with the hopes of securing a win, but things couldn't get going until the top of the 5th inning when Heim doubles a run to the right for a run to be made. The Guardians still found themselves in the driver's seat after the Rangers' first run on the board. Guardians able to steal another run after a pitcher error. The game ends with the Guardians winning. Final score 4-2. The Houston Astros closing out the Orioles in Baltimore. The Astros went into this game without Yordan Alvarez. Third game in a row. Astros still take control at the top of the 4th inning with 3 runs and maintained it from there. Astros win. Final score 6-3. And for your 25 news now, I'm Ray Robinson.
Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus. A calm in the Middle East after Israel and Hezbollah engaged in their largest cross-border attack since the war in Gaza started. Both sides are declaring victory. This development comes as a negotiation between Israel and Hamas to end the war in Gaza and have a collapse once more.
This morning, fears of a wider war in the Middle East calming after Israel and Hezbollah engaged in attacks over the weekend, the largest since the war in Gaza started.
It is incumbent on all parties in the region to work towards de-escalation and stability.
Israel firing first in what they say were preemptive strikes after detecting plans for an attack on Israel. The IDF saying it hit more than 40 Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon, targeting thousands of rocket launchers and missiles. Hezbollah then firing back. The Iranian-backed military shooting at least 320 rockets into Israeli territory. Sources tell ABC News the intended targets were estimated to be Israeli intelligence bases. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says drones were intercepted trying to reach sites in central Israel, and this is not the end of the story. Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah says their latest operation is complete, and they will wait and see if more action is needed. The Pentagon ordering 2 aircraft carrier strike groups to stay in the region. The U.S. Embassy in Lebanon's capital of Beirut telling Americans there to prepare contingency plans and be prepared to shelter in place. In Gaza, more evacuation orders in humanitarian zones, including near this hospital.
We, people on the ground, we are not among the calculations of any of these parties.
The White House is showing some optimism in ceasefire talks. A senior administration official says even though Hamas rejected the latest deal, Hamas negotiators are still in Cairo where discussions are happening. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Victoria County Commissioner Courts meet this morning at 10 a.m. Here are a few items from their agenda. The courts will consider approval of an interlocal corporation agreement for the provision of mental health peace officers service between Gulf Bend Center and the Victoria County Sheriff Office. The court will hold a public hearing for the 2025 Victoria Clerk Archival Plan and take action. They will also consider approval of the proposed 2025 Victoria County Sheriff and Constable fees. The court meets at the Victoria County Courthouse at 115 Bridge Street on the 2nd floor of the courthouse, room 241. Area veterans and first responders were honored Saturday morning to give thanks to those that help protect our country. The VFW Post 4146 hosted a breakfast for their fellow U.S. military veterans as well former first responders. Even organized and speaker Richard Castillo, who lost his brother in Vietnam, wanted to pay tribute to all the vets and first responders, groups that he say often get overlooked when giving thanks. The event featured food, music, and fellowship.
We don't want to forget them because they're the reasons why we're here. They're the reasons why we're still alive because they gave their lives for us to live.
The VFW held a special dedication for Castillo's deceased brother, Manuel, following the event. Castillo says that he hopes it can become an annual event. The time is now 6:40 now. Still to come, millions of vaccines have arrived in Gaza. Just ahead, we'll tell you the plans.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. I hope that you love that rain because we got lots more coming away today and also through the rest of this week. And we'll take a look at those chances in just a second because looking at your radar this morning, we do have a couple showers out there. They're actually starting to slowly die off as we speak. Right now, we do have one that just started kind of building just a couple seconds ago, just west of Port O'Connor, heading towards Refugio if it does head that way and it keeps intact over the next 10 to 20 minutes or so. But otherwise, like I said, I hope you love that rain because we've got rain chances just about every day this week, and actually going into next week as well. We're going to have some more rain chances. So get those umbrellas out and keep them out because we got lots more still to come. And if you don't see that rain, I would say we're going to see some more later this week, like I said. But if you're going down to the beach today, I would not recommend that. I'm going to go ahead and say that now because we're going to have thunderstorms out there. Definitely want to practice lightning safety. But if you are, water's still very warm down there at 90 degrees. Those are your water temperatures, 10 degrees off from a hot tub, I might add. But looking at the rest of the tropics, we do still have a few tropical waves out there I'm watching. I am watching this one still because it's going to continue moving over Florida the next day and a half, and it's going to spit out here into the central Gulf by midweek. And I'm going to watch that because currently our Gulf of Mexico is at the all-time most energized, highest heat content ever reserved in recorded history. So we're going to watch that over the next few days. The good news is I don't think anything's going to really come over that. If anything, maybe a little bit more rain going into next week. But otherwise, there are other two tropical waves out there. I'm going to watch those over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to take a look at that more later on Sunrise. Back to you, Maya.
Thank you, Parker. The Palestinian Minister of Health in Ramallah announced on Sunday evening the arrival of polio vaccine in the Gaza Strip. The vaccine had been stored in a designated warehouse in preparation for a large-scale vaccination campaign coordinated with UNICEF. The first shipment included 1.26 million doses, with effort underway to secure an additional 365,000 doses. In the coming days, the campaign aimed to vaccinate 640,000 children, each receiving 2 doses of the vaccine, targeting those from birth to 10 years old. There was no agreement on the Sunday in Cairo about a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. Hamas says a delegation has left Cairo, saying it's sticking to a ceasefire proposal back in July and will not accept new conditions. Hamas says any agreements must include a permanent ceasefire, a complete Israel withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, a serious exchange deal. A U.S. official says recent talks have been constructive and that the process will continue over the coming days through working groups to further address remaining issues. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. If you're running low on COVID-19 tests, we have some information for you and how you can soon order more. A new round of free COVID tests is coming soon. The Biden administration says the test will be available in late September. This all comes on the heels of the summer wave of COVID-19 cases. U.S. households will be able to order up to 4 COVID-19 nasal swab tests when the federal programs reopen. The test will detect current virus strains and can be ordered ahead of the holiday season. The announcement comes as the government is once again urging people to get an update COVID-19 booster. The test can be ordered at covidtest.gov. Many colleges across the country are beginning their fall semester. In some cases, enrollment is down. Some schools say, and overall, with the financial aid application process known as FAFSA, caused major problems this year, and the ripple effect caused enrollment to drop. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona is assuring parents and students the problem will be fixed, and people can start applying for federal financial aid by December 1st for the 2025 through 2026 school year. We have time for one final check for the weather with our meteorologist Parker Cox.
Thanks, Amaya. Good morning, Crossroads. If you're tuning in with us this morning, I hope you all love rain because we've got a lot of it coming our way. In fact, you can actually see one tower out there just off the coast of Port Lavaca. You're looking southeast right now towards way out there in the water. In fact, looking at your radar, we do have, like I said, a couple showers out there right now, kind of starting to die off a little bit as we go into the later morning hours. But zooming out on where all the rest of the activity is, all of this is going to be coming our way as we go into the afternoon. All of this off of that little weird upper level weak trough that we have. But good news is no severe weather expected, just lots of general thunderstorms. In fact, in Port Lavaca, I'm thinking your shower activity is going to be around noontime all the way through the afternoon. Here in Victoria, I think our shower activity is going to be in the afternoon, and the same thing with Cuero. Only going to be in the upper 80s today, some in the low 90s as well for highs. And that weather you saw there, that's going to continue just like that for the rest of this week. So get those umbrellas out and keep them out. Well, Maya, do you like that rain?
I love the rain. It's just so relaxing and calm for me.
We got lots more coming away for the rest of this week. I hope you're excited for that.
I am.
I love the sound of rain. I don't know about y'all, but
I love the sound of rain. But thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Dawn, Max, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Bye.